welcome to the SNC podcast, Mrs. Olusola Adekola.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's such a pleasure to have you here, ma.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I should let you finish your greeting. And I'm looking forward to the topic that we're going to be discussing today, which is Alagas. For me, the reason why I want to have this discussion is the fact that I think just growing up as a child, I've always been intrigued, I guess, with regards to how Alagas anchor events, how they use Nigerian language to promote Nigerian culture, and also sometimes how some of their practices can be very, I guess, detrimental to her, particularly to women. But before we get into that, let's get to know more about you, ma. Good?
Okay.
So you are a radio presenter at Radio Lagos. How long have you been working at Radio Lagos?
I started working, give and take, let's say, like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
But I was confirmed, 20 years ago.
Okay.
But before then, we had some little things we were doing with Radio Lagos as a contract artist.
Okay.
Until we were confirmed in 1999.
Okay. And what drew you to radio?
Well, I've always had the dream of being a broadcaster. I remember then when I watched the news and I see the likes of Ronke Ayuba, she used to be Ronke Dali, Ronke Ayuba, the likes of Sene Owe Brown, Tokumbo and all that.
Yeah.
The way, the elegance, let me put it that way, used to draw me to being a broadcaster. And I've always had the dream of being either a broadcaster or an air hostess while growing up.
So what happened to the air hostess dream?
Okay, then it was Nigerian Airways, and there wasn't much of this social media platform, so to say now. So it was while Nigerian Airways was scrapped, so to say, I think the dream died with that. Because it wasn't easy getting to walk outside, and most of the airlines then would tell you, we're just a station here, you have to get to our head office. And I think that was how the dream, but I still wanted to be a broadcaster.
Okay. So now you talked about the fact that you had your dream was either to become an air hostess or a radio presenter.
Yes, or a radio presenter.
What were you like as a child, and why was radio and becoming an air hostess, why were those dreams that, I guess, were attractive to you? Was it just what you saw growing up? Were your parents into broadcasting, or were they, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, what led to that?
Okay, fortunately, do I say fortunately or unfortunately, my mom is an illiterate. Depending on what that means to you.
Because I was about to say, mother, really.
Okay, but she was a trader, and my father was a teacher, then became a policeman. But the thing is, each time my father is at home, we're always watching the news. When he gets back, tune that to NTA, let's watch the news. And while growing up, I remember when I was in nursery school, my father would buy storybooks and give them to me to read. And the assignment after reading the storybook is to summarize the story and tell him what I read in the book. So from there, graduating to sitting with him to watch the news at 9, I think that was what brought about the interest in broadcasting. But I think aside that, I wanted something glamorous. So I'll say from that was the interest in becoming an air hostess.
You think it's glamorous?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
How?
Talking and everybody on that airline at that time, they have to listen to you. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. This is airline, and I'm the air hostess I'm here to serve you, and all that.
Yeah.
And the fact then that we had some neighbors who were air hostess, and the green, white, green uniform,
Yes.
the way they were looking.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I love this job.
But don't you think that your comments are contradictory in terms of the fact that before we came on air, you were talking about you're a shy person.
Yeah.
And here you are saying that.
Okay, as a shy person, even at that, my shyness
Doesn't apply when it comes to job.
when it comes to my job,
Yeah.
I have to put in my best.
Yes. Okay. I just think it's always very interesting, like when people are introverts, I guess when they're at home.
No, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm an introvert.
Yes.
But I'm not an extreme extrovert.
Extrovert. Okay, but you're still an extroverted type of person.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Before we transition to discussing what it means to be an Alaga, was Yoruba a topic, or not topic, was it a subject that you studied in school?
Yes.
You think?
My secondary school days, I studied Yoruba up till my WASC level.
JS3 or SS3? SS3?
No, we did Form 5. We did Form 5.
Okay.
We didn't do the JSS thing.
That's true.
So I took Yoruba as a subject at my WASC.
Okay. Because as I want to transition to becoming an Alaga, I feel like for me, I took Yoruba for us, my generation, we have SS3.
Okay.
So I took Yoruba from JS1 up to SS3.
Wow,
And
that's very rare.
I know. I took it JS1 to JS3 and then SS1 to SS3. And till today, my Yoruba speaking skills are quite... I understand Yoruba to a certain degree. Like they're quite... It's really bad. I think it's the intonation. You get it, man?
Yeah.
So I wanted to just touch on the fact that there's this growing topic, or there's this growing, I guess, discourse or concern amongst people noticing that a lot of Nigerian parents are no longer speaking traditional languages to their children.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's a possibility that Nigerian languages may die off.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Well, it may not die, but it may not be very popular. Let's put it that way. Because, you know why I said it may not die? We still have people in the villages that do not even know what education is about, or they probably have a first school living certificate. They try to speak English in quote now, but their own kind of English is what we call pidgin. Or they pick it and they just try to string it together. It's not the same thing as what you and I will speak. So they speak to their own children in their indigenous language.
Yeah. Do you think that it's ironic, though, that the so-called people who are illiterate or that live in the villages are the ones that are still speaking? Okay, so I need to complete my sentences. Are still the ones that are speaking Yoruba? What is it about coming to the city that makes people feel like speaking the regular or speaking traditional languages to your children or your child is not cool or is ras? Where did that mindset? Where do you think that came from?
I think that has to do with the Yorubas.
Really?
Yeah. Because I've moved with other tribes. I've seen them speak to their children, even outside Nigeria. When you meet an Igbo man, he speaks his language to the children. Same with the Hausa man. It's not saying the man is not educated, but they still want to promote their languages. But the Yorubas will see ourselves as, how do I put it now? We're educated, we're exposed, and we want to show that okay, I've spent so much sending those children to school. So I want people to see them, that they speak good English. You know, my daughter just graduated from Wales. She just graduated. Yeah. And the next thing is to let people around you see the tonation that the child just got back.
But haven't we seen that there is such an added benefit to not only graduating from Wales, but also being able to speak numerous languages, whereby you can actually eventually, if you have an interest, work for the UN? So do you get what I'm trying? I don't really get that, but go ahead.
Even I took a course called semantics in English.
Okay.
And one of the things we were taught is that you cannot be very good without your mother tongue. But now asked the professor that, okay, I've had people who lived abroad, who have their children abroad, and they're good in English. And he said, yes, because those children see the English language as their mother tongue because they grew up listening to that language.
Yeah.
That if you're somebody who is good who is vast in your mother tongue, then you'll be good in other languages.
Yeah.
But I think where we got it wrong is the introduction of this private schools where they started with the idea of speaking vernacular. Go and check the dictionary. What is the meaning of vernacular? How can you tell me that my mother tongue is vernacular?
It's vernacular. Yeah.
So I think that was where we started to get it wrong.
Yeah, because I think for me, I was telling my mother when I was coming to do this interview that one of the things I noticed was that when we were growing up, she hardly spoke Yoruba to my brother and I and my cousin unless we got in trouble. So my ability to speak Yoruba properly I blame it on my parents. But however, I think that what also helped in me understanding Yoruba is also hearing her speak to my auntie and other people and watching Yoruba movies. So watching movies like Tioluwa Lonile, Koshegbe, all these Yoruba movies that were seminal in my childhood. Yeah, go ahead, ma.
Okay, you just said it now. Most of the movies now that are supposed to be Yoruba movies, you see them speaking English. You cannot compare those movies. You just mentioned Tioluwa Lonile, Koshegbe, you know, and some other movies like that. These are the ways that those writers are promoting our culture. You wouldn't expect somebody like that to get home and speak English to his or her daughter.
Yeah.
Like my children, they'll say, oh, it is when you want to do, they call it GBT or something. When they speak English, and I say, mi ogboyinbo.
Yeah.
They tell me, but mom, in got to first yen, so ni Yoruba, got to first yen. Ogbo Yoruba now. Yeah, the tonation is not the same thing as mine, but all in all, they speak Yoruba fluently. But when they speak, you know that this is not the same thing as the way I would speak Yoruba. But they're picking up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For me, because it's just for me, it's the intonation. All right. Well, because I wanted to just have that as a backstory, just because I feel like Yoruba is obviously what you're using as your means of communication. Right. So I wanted to know if maybe you just picked up Yoruba when you were older, or you had always been speaking Yoruba.
Like I said, my mom did not go to school. Don't let me use the word illiterate. But she was good in her trade. So she never attended school, but
she didn't get formal education.
Yes. So it's just that helped me in a way, because how do I speak English to her?
That's true. You would have to speak. Okay, now let's go on to the business of being an Alaga. So, before we go on, an Alaga, for someone who does not know, an Alaga is a traditional master of ceremony.
Yeah, a traditional compare.
Okay. And what I want to know is, why are Alagas primarily women?
We have men now.
Oh, really?
We have men, but of course the number is, the ratio is like 1 to 10. For now, we have men.
But is there a reason why we initially just had primarily more women than men?
Okay, maybe I should just give you a brief history of what it is.
Yes.
It used to be that when you come to marry somebody in somebody's family, because you're coming to pick a wife, it used to be the duty of the housewives, the cousins' wives, the uncles and all that. They come together to welcome their guest. But because of who we are, apology to some people, they thought in doing that, so many people, their marriages, their lives were interfered into. because some things happened and they asked them to trace it back to the day of the wedding, or probably somebody,
Yes.
as Africans. And I think somebody just came up with the idea of doing that. Maybe a neutral person, you bring in a neutral person, you pay her. There's always somebody you are paid to do a job who now harm you.
Supposedly.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
So I think that was how the issue of Alagas came in.
Okay.
Being paid for, and you come in and do it.
So as opposed to having someone from the family harm you, you have a neutral person.
Yeah, well, I think even aside from looking at the negative aspect as well, these days you have housewives who are probably not even available for such services.
So I'd rather outsource that.
So you rather want to get somebody you pay and you get your job done.
Okay. Now, how did you become an Alaga? How did that interest develop?
Okay, will I say the interest developed? Okay, let me start from where it started.
Okay.
Before I got to work at Radio Lagos, I had a store where I sell groceries and I sell things in wholesale. So a client came to buy something and I was attending to another customer. So after attending to the customer, and I said, "I'm sorry for keeping you waiting." And she said, "Madam, am I worried? I saw something in you while you were attending to the other customer." And I was like, "Sorry, what's that?" She said, "Do you know that you can become an Alaga?" And I was like, "Please don't go there." She said, "Yes. Now the way you attended to that customer, I was just looking at you and some dramas you brought up, and you made her buy the things, even the ones she didn't want to buy. You'll be a successful Alaga." And I was like, "I'm a shy person." And she said, "Oh, to bad day, gbogbo shyness, ma."
Hello.
And I said, "I've never had a training concerning that, and I don't like doing anything that I'm not trained for." And she said, "I'm an Alaga. I can train you." And she gave me the offer she gave me her address. Then there wasn't phone, so she gave me her address that I should come to her house, that she has a job for that weekend. If I come with her to the party, to the engagement, if I enjoy it, and I still want to continue. That was it.
Okay.
It wasn't that I went out to...
Yes, look for it. And before we came on the podcast, we were talking prior to recording that your introduction to Alagas came when you were getting married.
Yes, that was the first, I would say that was about the first time I had a one-on-one contact with an Alaga.
One-on-one contact, you understood them to be, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so when you went to the party, you enjoyed the party, obviously.
I enjoyed what she did, the way she was picking them from the beginning, welcoming the groom. So like I said, I don't like doing anything that I'm not trained for. So my first outing with her, I had a pen and a note. So I was writing everything she was doing, one step after the other. The song she sang while welcoming the groom, I wrote it at the entrance, so. And up till the last moment, I had a note on everything.
Yeah, so you had a structure.
Yes.
Of how the event should
go.
Okay.
And after that, on our way home, she said, "How was it?" I said, "I enjoyed myself." And she said, "Would you want to continue?" And I said, "It's not bad." So each week, when she has anything to do at the weekend, she'll pass by my shop and tell me, "Aburo, weekendy, Anisha also go get ready." I'll go to her house. At the end of the day, I think she'll give me 50 naira. Then 50 naira, maybe a pack of sweets or biscuits to give to my children, because then I was already married with 2 kids.
Okay.
She said, "Okay, the biscuits and the sweets are for my children. Then you take the 50 naira for your transport." But it wasn't the monetary aspect that really got me. it was like, because like I said, when I start something, I'm somebody that wants to know what is the nitty-gritty of whatever I want to do. So from there, when we go out, she'll give me a bag. She had other apprentices. But what I was now doing is comparing my Ogame, so rest in peace. Auntie Boss said she was called a sub then. She had a name from the back. Boss said she now changed it to a sub.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. So when she's doing something, I'll write what she's doing and what the other lady was doing. So when I get home, I'll look at them, and from there.
You come. Okay.
Yeah.
And your first salary when you
Let's
worked as
say
an
wage?
Yes, your wage. Sorry, not salary.
Not
That's the word I'm looking
salary.
for. Your first wage as an Alaga, you said it was 2,000 naira?
2,000 naira.
And so did you think that you needed to ask your tutor?
No,
you just, again,
no.
like you were just basing
okay.
it.
The lady that got the job for me is like an area sister.
Okay.
And one of her friends was getting married. She's now in Canada. And she said, I have a sister that could do the job for you. She's an Alaka widow, but you will enjoy her.
Yeah.
So she just said, Auntie Mobayin Bashekon, but they will enjoy you.
Oh, okay.
So and she was like, how much would you want them to pay? And I said, how much can they afford?
Okay.
So she said, I don't know. And I said, okay, ask them if they can afford 2,000 naira. That was how I came about the 2,000 naira.
Okay.
And they were ready to pay. And from the 2,000 naira, I got a drummer and I got somebody to come with me, because it's not something you can do alone.
Yeah, because I want to even get into the process of becoming an Alaga. But excuse me, before we go on even further, there's an Alaga Ijoko, an Alaga Iduro. So Alaga Ijoko is the sitting Alaga.
Yes, that's the one that is representing the bride side.
Okay, and Alaga
Iduro
is the man.
She's the one coming with the groom.
Okay, because the bride's family, they are sitting, right?
Yeah, they're the ones seated, and you are coming in, you want to ask for something.
Okay. Because in my mind, I'm thinking that why can't we just have one Alaga who's going to do the entire ceremony?
Yeah, I've done that. I think like thrice, but most, I think, yes, thrice. And they all one came from Canada, the other from US. And she just said, I don't want all this drama. As a matter of fact, she wanted the engagement thing scrapped off. But the mom said, no, that's my tradition. That's the only thing that I can say I am involved in. And she said, okay, I know somebody that will handle it and you won't be bored. And she called me and said, Yabeji, you are standing for both family. And I was like, oh, you are paying me twice. Yeah. And she said, it's not even about the money. That she knows what I can do. But she won't be able to vouch for the other party that will be brought. Okay. That's why she wanted me, and I did it. And another person that saw me there took my card and did the same thing. Yeah, I was the only person for both family.
Okay, yeah, because I would wonder how, before we even go into the process, I wanted to ask you something. You talked about the introduction and the engagement.
Yes,
now I was arguing with my mother. Exactly. Thank you. She was saying that an introduction and the engagement can be held on the same day.
Well,
nowadays some people do that.
Some people do that.
And I was like, I feel like some people do have it on separate days.
Yes.
Right?
Because, look at it this way. What the Yoruba culture says is that, in the olden days, it used to be that, Sade, Dipo saw Sade and fell in love with Sade. And the first thing...
Not Dipo, Chris Evans.
Okay.
Chris Evans, the actor from Fantastic Four.
Okay. Chris Evans.
Yes.
Saw Sade and loved Sade. And the first thing is to inform a parent. His parents, sorry. And the parents will be like, okay, Sade, where's she from? Which spirit, which area? And they go researching into the family.
Because they want to know
what the family is all about. Then they'll get somebody that is called Alarino. That's the person that will be between the two families. The Chris Evans family will now assign the person.
I thank you for staying consistent. Thank you.
To go to Shade's parents to inform them of their intentions of coming to know them.
That's an Alarino.
Alarino. So the Alarino will be, that's what we now call the first visit.
Okay.
These days we rarely have Alarinos, but the parents do that themselves. They'll come to let you know that, okay, oh, Daddy, Amy, Awani, Mama, we are the parents of Chris Evans, and he says he's in love with your daughter.
He is.
And we want to come and see you guys. They will now let you know that, okay, you know, we have a family in Yoruba land, especially in Africa, we have a culture. Family is not just the nuclear thing, it's about the extended family.
Yeah.
So we'll now inform our families when will be convenient for you to come visit us. So when you're coming, you come with some things that you'll be introducing the family members with. That is called the introduction.
Okay.
So you come with Chris Evans and his parents and the parents' family members, the mother side, the father side, and each person will be introduced. Okay, this is Uncle Gail, Uncle Dennis is Chris' uncle from the mother side. This is Uncle Christopher, Chris' uncle from father side.
Okay.
So that is basically what introduction, which we call Mommy Mo.
Mommy Mo.
Yes, I know you, you know me. So that's basically what that is.
Okay.
But these days, apology to my colleagues, professional colleagues out there, they really don't know the difference between introduction and engagement. Most times, you see them doing the same thing for both.
Okay.
Which should not be.
So because the engagement now is when they're just getting married traditionally.
Traditionally.
Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about the process of being an Alaga. You said that it's not just an individual. It's not an individual.
Yes, some people feel if I can talk well, if I'm fluent in Yoruba, if I'm versatile in languages, if I can sing, if I'm bold, then I can be an Alaga. No, there's always a process. There is. I can. If you injure your hand, you hurt yourself, I can still try to do some massage for you, but that doesn't make me a masseur, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't make me a physiotherapist because I'm not trained to be one. So there's always something special in everything that is called a career or a profession.
Yeah.
So you need to learn from the masters. Like I said, she discovered me. Up till now, I don't know what she saw in me, but she said she saw some things.
Yeah.
And going out, I told you I had my notebook and I was learning the trade. Now I have some people under me, learning from me. And what I do is, if you come to me, I want to learn this, I tell you, if you cannot afford a day in a week for rehearsal, you cannot work with me. Because one, there are some things you learn as an Alaga. Like? The way you dress, the way you talk to people. You don't just talk to people anyhow. Fine, you might put some bit of comedy, but getting married is not
time for jokes.
No, it's not. Especially when you have some intra-marriages.
How do you manage that? Especially like in the situation whereby you're the one who's even doing both sides. Let's just say, for example, so are you going to meet with the bride side and then the groom side get all the necessary information.
Yeah.
And then you put your program together.
Yeah.
Is that how it works for you?
Okay. Like I said, the first one I did was a kind of challenge, but I just said to myself, I have anchored the groom side before, and I've anchored the bride side before. So what I did was to marry the program. Okay, these are the family. I welcomed the groom side, and as they were coming in, I told the bride's people, these are the families of so people from so town. They have come to ask of our daughter in marriage and that and that. And do you want them to join us? And when they answered in affirmative, I welcomed the groom's people. Please have your seat. And we started the program.
Yeah. So do you meet, maybe you answered that and maybe I just missed it, but
Okay.
do you meet with the bride's family and the groom's? Do you sit down with them and they talk through what they want to be communicated?
These days, we really don't need to meet face to face. We could do that over the phone.
Over the phone, okay.
But most times, of course, I call, I speak with my clients. What form do you want it? Especially for children of separated parents.
Yeah.
It might be the father that is contracting me, and he'll tell you, on that day, I don't want anybody cuddling me,
Yeah.
I don't want you telling my wife to cuddle me, to give me a peck or kneel down in front of me. Just do the job and let her go. And I've had women tell me the same thing. Madam Ejoma, I don't want to kneel in front of anybody. Just let me carry the engagement letter and do what I'm supposed to do and just forget it. So I have to have a series of meetings with my clients
To know what they want.
and what
they don't want.
give it to them.
Okay. Now, just, I guess, using that as a launching pad to some of the, to some of the criticisms that people have with regards to Alagas. So let's even start from there. A lot of times people say that, I was telling you before we came on air, that the whole tradition of Alagas telling women, particularly women, to kneel down and, I guess, just serve their husbands or whatever it is, or feed their husbands cake. That is not even a Yoruba tradition.
Okay, like I said earlier on, what you don't give what you don't have. Once again, I would like to pray that the soul of Esau rests in peace. I learned the trade when the real culture was promoted. Not this day that people just want to do a lot of things. I do too. These days, I sing a lot of hip-hop and all that, especially when the bride and groom are coming in. But I will not sing hip-hop for the bride's father, for instance, or the bride's mother.
Yeah.
I
think it's very creative. I really like that.
You have to be creative.
Yeah.
You have to be creative. You have to know your onions. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And you have something for different. Which is why I said I have a rehearsal class every week for my students. So if you cannot afford a day to come for the rehearsal, then you cannot be my student.
Yeah. And I think that's very key that you talked about the nuances. You're not going to sing hip hop for someone's father or mother. You can sing that for the couple because they're the ones
but
the
irony of it. Some parents say, I want Sharuba now, call Kenny and I'll just switch.
Yes.
But that will be on demand.
Yeah.
But for the older generation, I'll go into the oldies, the Sonny Ades, Ike Dairo and all that, and make them feel relaxed.
Okay. So you definitely tend to listen to what your clients what they want.
And like I said, the audience determines what I give them.
But what if the audience is requesting for oppressive practices towards women, the whole kneeling down crap?
No.
You would still go with what the couple wants?
No. In that case, they don't really do that. I've never had such experience. Because one time, it's when you prolong these things that you have different people coming in, telling you, Madam, you have to do this, Madam, you have to do that. When I start, I make you realize that, sorry, I'm not a comedian, I'm a compere, and I'm here to do this. traditional wedding, which is what I'm going to do with a little of new age flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what you're getting from me from the onset. I'll let you know. So as we're going on with that, the right thing should be done at the right time.
Yeah.
And I'm even trying to scrap the area of kneeling down. I could ask the couple, the parents, to hug themselves, reminiscence on how they met, and I'll just think of any love song, could be in Lionel Richie or something. Then,
yeah,
and you know, they'll always, you know.
Do you think about the songs before you go to anchor the event? Do you think about possible songs for that day? You say, okay, this, and this are possible songs that I want to.
Like I said, we rehearse.
Yeah.
So whatever job we have for the weekend,
okay, you prepare for that.
You prepare for that, and we just pick some other songs and rehearse.
Yeah.
So that when I sing, my assistants
they know
are always ready.
Yes. You're not just freestyling.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so how long do you think a traditional wedding or introduction should last? Should it be max? How long do you think? Because we talked about timing as an issue.
Yeah, timing is an issue for me. I don't know. Some Alagas might watch this and they'll say, this woman, Oburu. I'm like that. Maybe because of my background as a broadcaster, I'm always time conscious.
Yeah, time conscious.
I am. So I don't want you dragging. I have learned something that whoever appreciates what you're doing, you don't need to drag it. The person will get up and say, Madam, I have gone for jobs that people say, Madam, you were good, but you're proud. And I'm
what is it?
What is the pride about that? You didn't give us your card. And I'm like, oh, sorry. I do that on demand. To some people, it's pride.
Yeah.
But to me, I can't just, I don't like to force myself on
impose
people.
Yourself on
so
others.
If you love what I do, you demand, Madam, can I have your card? And with all gladness, I'll say, thank you, God bless you. And I give you the card.
Yeah, that's true. As opposed to people that would they'll be announcing that Tebafe, what's the wording? What's renting you about if you want to hire me?
Tebafe gbami.
Tebafe gbami, LA Rimini 808, right? So you are very particular about knowing that there's a time for business and there's a time for self-promotion.
Because I've been paid. Yes, I will introduce myself. My name is so. This is what I do.
Okay.
Just call my name and I'll be there. And I'm out.
See that? I'll be there. See, I love that. Okay, now let's go on to the payment. So one of the complaints, not even one of, not even one of, the numerous complaints that people have about Alagas is that they have become is it FIRS number 2 or LIRS, whoever, that they use their platform, besides even being paid, they use the whole taxing or what's what I'm looking for, penalties or fines of the couple to enrich themselves. Any thoughts on that?
I don't get that because you won't be penalized for anything.
Like okay, so let's say the groom is coming with his friends and maybe someone is wearing sunglasses.
Oh.
And they'll not say, you're wearing sunglasses.
I don't see
1,000
that
naira.
as penalty. I think that's just a kind of jokes. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, but people don't like that.
But I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't. Like I said, it's a straightforward thing. Okay, maybe come in. Sorry, you have to pay toll gate before you go in, and after that you come in. Go on.
Why are they paying toll gates?
Because, like I said, it's still part of our culture. You're coming to knock on my door.
Okay.
So you can't just come in freely. It's just, like I said, it's just a way of appreciating each other. Let me put it that way.
Okay. All right. So you don't go ahead finding people or
for
taxing
putting on your
sunglasses or you didn't prostrate properly.
No.
So
even I've had to tell some grooms because I remember there was a guy I said, you look so good. Please give me a handshake. And the other Alaga was like, Magbalo. And I said, I have a son who is your age. So I don't pray that anybody would just give my son unnecessary tasking. So if I say, I'll even give you a song. I say, if I say dance. If I say shake, you know, just to make you feel at home.
Yeah, okay. I guess one question I wanted to ask, which I have already answered, is the whole song creation. I think that I'm not someone who generally attends weddings because I feel like they're just really time consuming and stressful with traffic and all these different issues. But I really like how Alagas, how they should just come up with songs out of the blue, or they do have covers, but from your own experience, you rehearse and you practice the songs that you want to.
Sometimes when I even listen to some music, I have, by virtue of my job, I have young ones around me most times. And when I have a song, I hear a song that I love, I go to them and I ask, hey, there's this song I heard, though. I don't know the artist, but the song was something like, they'll say, okay, it's so. So if I get the name, I go on internet, I Google, I ask for the lyrics, so I won't mispronounce. So after the lyrics, I listen to the audio.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go.
Do you come up with your own songs?
Yes,
just
I do.
To feel inspired?
I do.
Okay. And then you record it?
Yeah.
And then okay. Have you put those songs on iTunes or?
No.
Just for your Alaga business?
Just for my business.
You should look into that, man. So you can be getting money.
Well.
have it well produced.
Because, okay, now that you're coming up with it, but because, my voice, I told you earlier on, I have this funny voice. So I don't want to...
It's very raspy. So but that could be a selling point.
I don't like giving my voice too much stress. So I want to retain it and give it to you fresh.
fresh.
Yeah.
Well, you can get an awesome producer who produce your voice well. And, maybe I should become your manager at this point.
We'll think about that, but I'm not sure I'll be able to pay you.
Yeah, don't worry, man. We'll do commission. 80-20.
Yeah, and who is the 80? Who is the 20?
Of course, me.
Oh, how about you?
I know, right? All right, man. Okay, now let's go on to... I read about an association that represents the Alagas. It's called the Association of Professional Wedding
Engagers.
Engagement Coordinators of Nigeria. How did you hear about that, and why did you feel like it was important for you to join and become a member?
Okay, as I said earlier on, the more you go out doing jobs, you meet people, network. And by the time you meet someone on the field like thrice or 4 times, the person, if anything is going on with, have you heard about so?
Yes.
And I heard about it. I joined them, but my job does not give me the luxury of time to attend meetings always. But I'm a member.
Okay.
And we even have another one that is for vendors together. That's APOEM, Association of Professional Party Organizers and all that. So they welcome vendors too.
Okay.
And
all right.
And I see that as a larger platform.
Okay. So a couple more questions before we go into the fun questions that I have for you. Before we came on air, we're talking about, you mentioned about event vendors. Yeah. That they also have a role to play in how Alagas. Okay,
like you asked a question about time management.
Yes.
Now, I think in Nigeria, what we do is I would like to apologize again now to my professional colleagues, but what we do most times is we really don't take time researching about people or what they do. What we do is what is trending. And I think that is kind of killing the industry. Because what is trending for you might not be what I want to trend, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So with that, with the event planners, I think what they do is, okay, Shade is my friend, Shade's event. The Alaga you used the other time, can I have a number? And that another person will...
Word of mouth.
It's not about what is this person doing right. And I've had to speak with some of them, and they said, hey, Auntie, you know what? Some of our clients will want to see what you have done on Instagram. So it's if you have an Instagram page, it's not about being good. You know what I mean? But if you have something we can show, so even if you are not good, but you have
something
a clip
to show
on the internet.
Yeah. But it's true, man. I mean, you have to. It's the hustle. The game is the game. You have
so,
to.
like I said, with that, if you're an event planner, you give some of them that I've worked with big names in event industry, and I have somebody. I don't know if I'm permitted to call her name. She's a big player in the industry, and she'll tell when she calls. I know. She said, Mrs. Adekola, this event is a high-class event, and I'm Oloyibo, and immediately they gave me the job. I thought of you. I've even had to work for her on 2 Americans marrying Nigerians, and she said, I know you'll be able to handle that.
Yeah.
So it depends on who is giving you the job. There's what is called a work plan. You work with a plan that's been given to you. You don't just want to, like I said to people, it's not about waxing song. Making meaningful songs. Even when I'm using your song, it's something that relates to what I'm doing at that particular time. So it gets the message to the audience. Like I said, if I have an outing for traditional rulers, the songs I'll sing there are different from what I'll sing when I have League of Professors.
That's true. That's really about doing your research and doing your homework. And I wanted to ask you, because before we came on, I wanted to ask you, do you agree, or is as someone who has been on both sides, do you agree that because some Alagas are maybe they're not unable to adapt, maybe they don't want to adapt to the 21st century, if an Alaga is going off base or is asking a question or is promoting a practice that you think you don't like, do you think that the audience, the couple, should just cut the person off?
Maybe not the couple. Someone can always call the person.
Call the Alaga to order.
Okay. I agree with that.
Yeah, because sometimes you just see the Alaga just going on and on and on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, at times it could be that they just start singing. Another practice that I've seen that I really don't like is when I come to work for you, and I probably see a client that probably has given me like 6-7 jobs, or somebody that I know is very rich. So I'll just switch off from whatever I was doing and switch to that person.
Yeah.
I don't think that is right.
Yeah.
You can welcome the person because you're the one comparing. I would like to recognize the presence of so person. Then you go back to what you were doing initially.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as we wrap up the serious questions, for, like you said, there are now Alagas that are men that are now becoming Alagas.
We've had like Sake. We've had Sake for like 30 years. He's been there. Okay. And we've had other men after him. And we have others, young guys joining now.
So for someone who has been in the industry, for how long have you been in Alagama?
I started in 1993.
Oh my gosh. So about like 2019, 26 years? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
it's like I've like
straddled
I said,
both worlds. Yeah. So for someone who wants to become an Alaga, and as someone who has experience and you have seen so much, what particular skills do you think, whether it's a guy or a girl, what do they need in order to become a successful Alaga, or to even carve out a niche for him or herself, whereby people know that this person is of excellent standard?
Okay, the first thing is, I think you need your voice, because we sing a lot. That's 1. 2, you must be a good dresser. That doesn't mean it has to be expensive, but you look good always because you are dressed the way you are dressed. Then, of course, like you said, to carve a niche for yourself, you must be able to brand yourself. What do I stand for? I tell people, For those that know me, working to time is something that is my USP.
Yeah.
I work to time so much that even when the other person is wasting time, I'll let you know that I don't enjoy what you're doing anymore.
So you've had situations whereby like, there's a dual Alaga role, and how do you settle that?
Because I just tell them that to the extent that even the people, the audience was now like, shebi keji lele, do you understand?
Yes.
But I'm not doing that for empathy's sake. I'm just like that. That's the way I'm wired. I don't like overstretching issues. I get bored easily. So I put myself in the shoes of the audience.
Yeah. Okay. So
and I like I said, I research a lot. I like to read comments. And another thing I've done that's really helped me is feedback from clients. After the event, I call you, I give you a text message, and
that's
I've been having, as a matter of fact, some of my friends now, we started as clients.
Wow, that's really great. So, great voice, the ability to do crucial research, time management.
If you have those three, then dressing well. If you have that, of course, the sky is a starting point.
Okay, that's great. Now let's go on to the fun random questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The first question is, what are 2 states in Nigeria that you have not visited but you would like to visit?
Plateau.
Okay.
Because of the weather, I've heard a lot about the weather. I've been to Nasarawa, very close to Plateau, but somebody said if you go to Plateau, you will enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Let me say, now that the states have been broken into different, I don't know, but I would like to go to Bayelsa. I've been to rivers, and they're so close. I want to see, is that the same thing because of the aquatic
terrain? Okay. Second question, you have to pick 2 songs out of these 4 options.
Am I singing?
No. You know what? You know what? The ones you pick, right? You just sing like maybe 10 seconds.
What if I don't know it?
You know, Emma.
Okay. You are okay. Let's go.
Okay. The first option is Oruka by Sonny Neji.
Oh.
The second one is Love Me Jeje by Sheyi Shodimu.
Okay.
Third one is Moshorire by Paul Dairo Jr. And the fourth is Shewonrere by Christy Essien Igbokwe.
Okay, for the older generations watching this, let me pick Moshorire and Omomi Shewonrere.
Okay.
You said I should just sing.
Yes.
Omomi Shewonrere tí ẹ dára o. Ọmọ mi gbọ́ tèmi tí ẹ dára o. Ọmọ mi Ṣewonrere tí ẹ dára o. Ọmọ mi gbọ́ tèmi tí ẹ dára o. Bọ́mọdé bá hùwà burúkú wọ́n ní ìyá rẹ̀ ló jọ. Bọ́mọdé bá hùwà burúkú wọ́n ní bàbá rẹ̀ ló jọ. Ìyá mi fọ̀nà tó dá hàn mí láyé. Bàbá mi fi wá tó dá hàn mí láyé.
Oh, that's so awesome. See, I'm going to manage you, ma. Why didn't this management deal? All right, the other one is you picked Moshorire.
Ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dì ọ́ mú. Ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dì ọ́ mú. Mi ò gbọ́dọ̀ jábọ́. Mo wá dúpẹ́ oore àná, bàbá mo dúpẹ́ o. Mo wá dúpẹ́ oore òní, bàbá mo dúpẹ́ o. Mo tún dúpẹ́ oore ọ̀la o, bàbá mo dúpẹ́ o. Bàbá mo dúpẹ́ o, bàbá mo dúpẹ́ o. Bàbá mo dúpẹ́ o, bàbá mo dúpẹ́. Bí mo bá jí lówùúrọ̀ kùtùkùtù máa dorí mi mú. Mo ṣoríire o, ẹlẹ́dàá mi mo dúpẹ́ o.
Thank you so much, man. That was great.
Thank you.
I remember when Moshiriri, that song was everywhere. That's like an evergreen song.
Oh my God! Because the father sang it first.
Yeah, that's why I said
so
Junior.
it was a remix from the father's song.
Yes. Okay. The third question is, what do you love most about being an Alaga?
Do I say the fact that I'm able to impact? Because when I go for engagement, apart from the fun fair, I try to talk to both the parents, the friends, and the couple themselves. Like I usually say to the friends, if you see any home that is great, there are two major factors: the couple's family and the friends. We know what is called peer group pressure. So when the wife is not, the husband is not satisfied with something that the wife probably did, and he complains to his friends, and they say, it's too, that your wife own self is too much. I've just been keeping quiet. You know, guys can be that funny. And they say,
horrible.
Oh my boy, Jakabosi town, Jerry. That town, the bossy can lead to something else. It may break their home forever.
Yeah.
But if they tell the friend, and the friends are like, oh my boy, now your own cross be that too. You not get where you did go. You have to bear it. He says it to the first person, the second person, and like 4 out of 6 people say the same thing. Guy, not be say we are trying to be harsh on you. It's just that's the reality of life. You have to accommodate each other. The friend would not want to be the one complaining all the time. He will adapt to the situation. And the family as well. When the mother-in-law is like, but if you let them know that today we are all happy dancing, please, let's keep this up.
Can you name 2 of your favorite Yoruba proverbs that have guided your life or have influenced how you live your life?
Number 1, Rántí ọmọ ẹni tí ìwọ ń ṣe.
Rántí ọmọ ẹni tí ìwọ ń ṣe. What does that mean?
Wherever you are, remember the child of whom you are.
Oh, I thought it would be Rántí ọmọ ẹni tí ó jẹ́.
Tó jẹ́.
Tó jẹ́.
It's the same thing. Ọmọ ẹni tí ìwọ ń ṣe.
Tí wọ́n ń ṣe. Okay.
Tí wọ́n ń ṣe kọ́. Igbo kọ́ ni mo sọ. Tí ìwọ ń ṣe.
Tí wọ́n ń ṣe.
Yeah. That's number 1. 2, ìgbà ò lọ bí òréré.
Ìgbà ò lọ bí òréré.
That's to say that the only constant thing in life is change. So change can come at any time. So you live your life as if there's no tomorrow. As if you're living the last day. So that is to say that be good at all times. Wherever you are now, remember that somebody was there yesterday and someone else will be there tomorrow.
Yeah, those are great sayings. Final question to wrap up the show.
Okay.
As the year 2019 comes to an end, what are the 2 things that you have learned about yourself this year?
This year, I have learned that God is ever faithful to whoever is faithful to Him. He has shown me in a way that I never expected, but He's still in the business of answering prayers. Another thing is that I have learned that it's never too late for anybody. So this year, these are the 2 great things
that you've learned about yourself. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Ma.
Thank you very much for having me around once again.